Good. Yeah, we've been married since May. We got to figure it out. I've heard this quote from a lot of married people. Oh, my significant other makes me a better person. I don't know if either of us are doing that for the other. I think my wife and I make each other one normal person, if that makes sense. Like, between us, there's a normal human being right here. Separately, I don't think we should be allowed to vote, quite honestly. But together, give us one vote. Who can we hurt? Yeah. What I mean by that is, like, we balance each other out. There's some things she's bad at that I'm good at. There's some things I'm horrible at that she's all right at. And there's, like, a normal human being right here. Like, my wife, for example, is a hypochondriac. Every morning, she wakes up with a brand new disease. Brand new. It's very exciting in our household. We'll just wake up, and she'll be like, oh, my God, do you hear that? What is that? And I'm like, huh? And she'll hold it to my ear. Do you hear that? What is that? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, was that there yesterday? And I'm like, I don't know. We didn't do this yesterday. I don't have yesterday's wrist noises cataloged in my head to compare to today's wrist noises. And she gets annoyed at me. She's like, oh, you never listen. And she storms off. And then after like 2 hours of Googling, she comes back. She's like, yeah, it's wrist cancer. And I was like, that's the most common form. So I get that. It's been really going around this year. So that's who my wife is. My wife's a bit of a hypochondriac. And me, I've had a pain in my left testicle for 6 years. And I've just been riding that out. You see what I mean? There's like a normal human being right here. Between this, there's a normal person right here. She's over here going, oh my God. And I'm over here like, yeah. Everything's fine. That's fine. Just a little bit of humidity today. That's all that is. A little too much humidity. Don't worry, I will explain the testicle. I wasn't just going to put that out there for you guys. Here's why I never got it checked out. I have a 7-day rule. If something hurts on my body, I give it a week. If it still hurts after a week, then I go get it checked out. The problem with this testicle pain is it would last like a day or two, then stop, and then come back a week later, but I'd start my clock over again. And I just realized this year, I've been doing that since 2018. And I told my wife in February about this, and she goes, oh my God, you're getting that checked out immediately. So I tried. I tried to get health insurance in February. And, yeah, did you know you can't? Did you know it's unavailable in February? I had no idea. I called like an idiot. I was like, one health insurance, please. And there's a lady on the other end like, what? You missed it. And I was like, the health insurance? She's like, yeah, it's over. And I'm like, why'd you even answer the phone? Like, shouldn't this be a recording? Why are you making me feel worse about this? And she's like, yeah, you didn't see the commercials? It's open enrollment. Open enrollment is from Thanksgiving till the end of January. You missed it. Didn't you see the commercials? And I'm like, yeah, I saw the commercials, but I didn't know there was a hard end to the open enrollment. I thought it was an advertisement. You know, because you know who else has open enrollment specials in the beginning of every new year? Gyms. Every gym in the country around the beginning of the new year is like, hey, $10 a month, get your big asses in here. You can hop on the elliptical. That doesn't mean you can't sign up in February. It just means it's going to cost a little more. And she's like, yeah, well, we meant it. I was like, all right, so what do we do now? And she's like, I don't know, call back in November. And I'm like, but my testicle hurts now. And she goes, you don't get it. I'm like, I don't think you get it. I got a dull toothache in my left nut. We got to figure this out. And she goes, you don't get it. And I'm like, you know what? I guess I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? Why are we treating health insurance like a pumpkin spice latte? Make it year round. Yeah. Listen. I thought it was a solid point too, but it didn't help. And I got off the phone and I had to tell Emma, I was like, they're not going to help me. And she just goes, oh my God, what if they have to cut it off? And I was like, why would that be the first thing you say? Why would you even put that in the air when you know I can't make an appointment for 9 more months? Why would you even put that germ of an idea in the atmosphere? And she's like, I don't know, what if? And I'm like, I don't know, what if? And she's like, do they put like a fake one in there? And I'm like, I don't know. I hope they would do that. I hope they wouldn't just let me leave with half a grocery bag. That'd be messed up. I'm pretty sure I'd speak up. I'd be like, come on, man. Just throw a couple quarters in there. Help me out. Don't let me live the rest of my life slightly off balance. Figure this out. And I remember she had a moment. She's like, you know what? I don't care if you have health insurance or not. You're getting this checked out, and you're just going to pay for it out of pocket like an American. And she said it like that because she's from Canada. She's trying to rub it in a little. I'm like, well, what if it's really expensive? And she goes, then you're going to go into debt like an American. So she found me a urologist in Brooklyn, and I'm not making this up for the sake of comedy, but my urologist's name was Dr. Zoltan. And you should have seen the look on my wife's face when she showed me the confirmation email. She's like, and I was like, what have you done? She's like, isn't this great? I'm like, not really. And she's like, why not? I'm like, well, you just took an already awkward conversation and you made it a little weirder. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do I mean? How do you think this is going to go down? You think we're just going to walk into the room and, Zoltan! Hungarian! Ah! Anyway, here are my genitals. It's not how this is going to go. It's going to be weird. And she goes, it won't be weird. And I was like, I promise you, it's going to be a little weird. And so I remember we're there in the waiting room. I'm waiting to get my name called. And Emma goes, hey, when you get your name called, do you want me to go in there with you? And I'm like, no. Sit out here and wait for me. And she goes, why? Why don't you want me to go in there? And I was like, what? Because it's weird. She goes, no, it's not. You came in with me for my wrist thing. And I was like, yeah, your pants stayed on for the wrist thing. And she goes, so? Why can't I go in there? Don't be immature. I'm like, because it's weird. It's going to make me feel like a little boy going in there with my mother, who's going to stand off to the side and during the exam go, don't forget to tell him about your testicles, sweetheart. And I'm just going to be able to like, thanks, Mom. I didn't forget why we came. And she's like, I would never do that. And she brought up a good point. She goes, you actually need me in there because you don't have a great memory. You're going to forget what that guy says, and I'm going to be a second pair of ears in there. And I'll be like, that's actually a good point. All right, you can come in, but don't say anything. She goes, I won't say anything. I'm just going to be there ears. I was like, all right, cool. So we're in there. We're waiting for Dr. Zoltan. He eventually comes in. We have our Zoltan, Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man moment, you know? And we're just, Hungarian? And he's very nice. He's like, welcome to New York. Hope you're enjoying the city. He's making small talk. He's like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian. And his eyes lit up a little bit. He's like, whoa, like a stand-up comedian? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's what you do for a living? I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, that is so cool. And I'm like, you're a doctor. Like, you're doing way good. Like, you're doing amazing. And then, I'm not making this up either, he proceeds to pitch me a TV show idea. Right then and there, he's like, I got an idea for a TV show. And I'm like, what? Yeah, this later. Right now, this. And his idea wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad idea. He's like, wouldn't it be cool if there's a show where you could hear the inner monologues of doctors and patients and then hear what they're actually saying to each other? I'm like, that's funny. I'd watch that. And he's like, right? And I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I could tell he wanted something more out of me, so I had to break it to him. I'm like, I'm sorry, Dr. Zoltan, I'm not famous enough to help you with this idea. And I could tell it bummed him out a little bit. He was like, yeah. All right. That's fine. Go ahead and take your pants off. And that was so weird. I've never taken my pants off after disappointing somebody. Like, that's never been the order of events. I've never had someone go, and I'm like, well? And so we're already off to this weird start. So I got my pants down by my ankles. I'm in a good power stance. Feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, ready for anything. And Emma's behind me. She's kind of got a rough view. And doctor's in front of me, worse view. And he's down there giving me the exam. He's just kind of feeling around. He's not milking me, but this is what he was doing. And he's saying all these doctor words that don't mean anything to me. He's just down there muttering. He's like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you got a swollen vernacular over there. Oh yeah, that's a swollen vernacular over there. Yep, we got 2 swollen vernaculars. Yeah, and for the record, he's not saying vernacular. It's just the closest I have in my vocabulary to whatever he is saying is vernacular. And the problem is he's just not saying the thing I want him to say. Like, my fear is that it might be cancer, but he's not saying that. He won't answer that. He's just down there like, oh yeah, got a couple vernaculars over here. Got some vernaculars over here. Oh yeah, a couple vernaculars. And I remember I had to cut him off. I'm like, Dr. Zoltan. He's like, huh? And I'm like, is it cancer? He's like, oh, no. And I'm like, good, get off me. Like, I don't care what it is now. I was just scared that it was that. Get the hell off of me, Dr. Zoltan. There's money for you on the nightstand. Get off of me. I didn't actually say that part, but that would have been sick. Man. And he was like, listen, I'm 95% sure it's not cancer, but we got to make 100% sure. So I got to set you up with a blood test and an ultrasound. And that's when I found out that they even do an ultrasound on that. I had no clue. I thought that was for looking at babies, but apparently they do it on other things. And I showed up that morning, and the ultrasound tech, unfortunately, kind of resembled my mother. Which, if there was anything I could have asked for that day, is please don't look like my mother. And there she was, cheekbones and all. And she was very nice, very professional, but it's awkward. I'm there on this table. It's in the morning. It's cold. There's bright lights. I got my pants down by my ankles. I'm just laying on this bed. She squirts this ultrasound jelly on my situation, and then she's just rubbing a wand on it. And I'm just laying there going, where the hell do I put my arms? You know? I had never thought so hard of where do arms go right now. Because you can't be too relaxed, right? You can't just be like... Like, that's uncomfortable for everybody. You can't just be too... And you also can't go behind the head. You can't just... Woo! Definitely can't do that. So I went with, like, a dead cockroach approach. I just... And she's just down there. And I know for a fact ultrasound techs can tell what's good and bad on the screen. I know that. Like, because otherwise, why would they give them a screen, right? Like, if they don't know if it's good or bad, just have them, well, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully this means something to somebody. Because I asked her, I'm like, how are things looking? And she goes, oh, I'm not allowed to say. That's out of my jurisdiction. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, the doctor will call you. And I'm like, well, can you give me a hint? And she goes, no, I really can't say anything. I'm like, you don't have to use your words. Just give me a look, you know? Just like a... Or a... Like, just... Something so I'm not in my head, you know, until I get this phone call. And she goes, I really can't say anything. You'll find out. The doctor will call you in 2 days. So I had 2 days to be in my head, which is a horrible place to be. 2 days to just be in my head going, what if what he thought was a vernacular was something else? And so the day finally came. Dr. Zoltan called me. We had our moment. Yeah, Zoltan. Yeah, this is Zoltan. And then I just cut him off. I'm like, hey, man, just tell me, is it cancer? And he goes, it's not cancer. Stop thinking that. And I'm like, thank God. And I was like, all right, so what is it? He's like, well, you have 2 swollen vernaculars going to both of your testicles. And he's like, I think that's what's causing you your pain. And I was like, all right, so what can we do about it? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I think you could use more support. And I was like, what? And he's like, tighter underwear. And I'm like, that's your treatment? You went to school for a decade? And you have like hundreds of thousands of student loan debt? And you just called me and you're like, yeah, Fruit of the Loom ought to do it. And he's like, yeah, I think it might help. And I'm like, all right, you do realize I'm never getting anything checked out ever again, right? And he's like, why do you say that? I'm like, well, I just spent $2,500 to find out $7 could have fixed this issue. Like, if anything's ever wrong with my body, I'm going to assume my clothes are too loose. That's the problem. Oh, no, I don't get migraine headaches. I need a tighter beanie. That's the issue. Hug my cranium.